Hello and welcome today for my 2022's FIFA World Cup predictions on this video. Hello and welcome today for my 2022's FIFA World Cup predictions on this video. A special video here today on my TJ Gamer channel, as I'm going to predict all the teams in each group and all the way to the final of the FIFA World Cup. What a weird way to have the FIFA World Cup to happen in the winter time rather than the summertime. This has been going on for so many years now about the corruption that Sepp Blatter did to try and make the World Cup move to winter and move it into Qatar, a country that probably kill a lot of people if they play football in the summer over there, as the Middle East is so hot and the temperature is so ridiculous, and that's why they've moved it to November. And it's probably strange to have the Premier League to not be playing and to have the World Cup play in the middle of that, between November until just before Christmas. And it's quite weird in a way to have the World Cup, but it's still good to have something completely different, because for the first time in the World Cup history, we never ever see a tournament play in the winter. So it'd be interesting how the players respond and how they get fit after the World Cup and the injuries they probably suffer after the World Cup. But in a way, anything could happen during the next 6 weeks of the World Cup tournament. But this video here today will be my predictions of the FIFA World Cup tournament, and this is my predictions of the group stages of the FIFA World Cup tournament. As we know, in Group A we have Qatar, the hosts of the FIFA World Cup, as they have Ecuador, Senegal and the Netherlands in this group. It's going to be a quite interesting one. It's going to be between these four teams. You can't underestimate Ecuador. I know that Ecuador's not really a good team, but you can't underestimate them. They can go through. The same thing with Senegal. They've got Sadio Mane, a very good attacking player in their team. The Netherlands will be the hot favourites to win the group. Obviously, they've got some very good players in their team, like Depay. You've got Frankie de Jong, De Ligt, and so many more good players who play for the Netherlands team. And also Qatar, you cannot write them off as well, because they are the host nation and they've probably got more of the advantage compared to these three teams who are in this group. But let's start with the predictions in Group A, as I think finishing first of Group A is going to be the Netherlands. And I feel the Netherlands will do it because they've got a very strong team. They've got a lot of history in the World Cup they have, and it really feels more knowable really that they're going to probably win the group of the FIFA World Cup. So I think Netherlands will finish first. They haven't been in the World Cup tournament way back since 2014, and they've missed out one World Cup way back in the Russia World Cup. They didn't qualify for it, but for this time around they've done very well to get into this competition under Louis van Gaal, the former manager for the Manchester United and also Barcelona and many more teams in the past. But I reckon they're going to win the group and they're going to finish first. In second, I feel that it's going to be Senegal. It's going to finish second in Group A. You know, they've got some very good players still. Got Koulibaly, you've got Sadio Mane, a guy who actually won the African Cup of Nations for Senegal against Mo Salah's Egypt in a way. And they've got a very strong team, they've got, Senegal. And I don't feel, I feel quite easy really to put Netherlands and Senegal together to qualify together in the Group A. So I reckon I'm going to go for Senegal and the Netherlands, and I reckon it'll be Ecuador to finish third, and I reckon it's going to be Qatar finishing in fourth position. I know they're the host nation, they've probably got the home advantage, but I don't really know much about Qatar's players. All I know is they just hosting the World Cup tournament, but I reckon they're going to finish fourth, and I think Ecuador's going to finish third. So that's my prediction in Group A. My predictions going into Group B of the FIFA World Cup tournament, as we have England, one of the teams that I'm from England, I'm born in England and that, and they're in the World Cup. Obviously there's talks of Gareth Southgate, could be his last World Cup, it could be as an England head coach, but they're in the FIFA World Cup. Obviously got Iran as well, a team who were actually close to get eliminated or being kicked out of the World Cup due to the fact that they had a bit of relationship with Russia to try and allow them to give them weapons to kill the Ukrainians. And there were talks of Ukraine taking Iran's spot, but it ain't going to happen now. It's probably a bit too late now. But they're in the World Cup, and they're also in it. And also the United States of America are in the FIFA World Cup as well. They missed out the 2018 World Cup in Russia, but it's good to get them back into it again. They've got some very good players and talented players in the American team. And also for Wales, this is the first time ever they've actually been in a World Cup tournament. I think it was in 1958 was the last time they've been in. That was probably like 62 years now they haven't been in a World Cup tournament. But, you know, they've got Bale, they've got some a very key talisman for Wales. I know it's probably time's up now as a player professionally. I know he plays for America now for LAFC, but it's good to have him playing in the World Cup, because I always imagined Wales to be in it for some reason because of Bale. But I'm glad that they're in it, and they're in this tournament here in Group B, and they're going to be really prepared. They've got to really prepare themselves in this group if they want a chance to try and get to the knockout phases of the competition. But my prediction in Group B, I'm going to go for England to win the group, despite our problems at the moment with results before the World Cup begun, as we did lose a few games and drawn and got relegated in the UEFA Nations League. But I still think we're going to finish first still. I think we've still got some very good players in our team, and I reckon England will finish first. In second position, I'm going to go for... It's between USA and Wales. It's between those two teams, Wales and the USA. But I'm going to go for Wales to finish second. I think Wales to finish second. I reckon America will finish third, and I reckon Iran to finish fourth in the group. And I feel that Wales have probably got more, they've probably got more of a proper bigger team than America. I don't really know much about the American players, apart from you've got Christian Pulisic, you've got that guy from Juventus as well, who plays for America. I think Mackenzie his name is, I'm quite sure, but he's in the American team. But I just feel like with America, I feel that Wales might get the better out of America, in my opinion. So I'm going to go for Wales and England, the two United Kingdom teams, to qualify in Group B of the FIFA World Cup tournament. My prediction in Group C of the FIFA World Cup tournament, as we have a very one-sided group, in my honest opinion, which is a debate about Poland and Mexico as well. But obviously Argentina are one of the best teams in the World Cup history, and they are one of the favourites actually to win the World Cup. In a lot of people's predictions and their opinions, they think that Argentina will win the World Cup. Even FIFA predicted that Argentina will win the whole entire thing. But it's quite a bit one-sided group for Argentina, so I'm going to go for Argentina to finish first in the group because of they've got a very good team. It's Lionel Messi will likely to be his last World Cup for Argentina after being in the World Cup for 5 appearances in the World Cup tournament. He never won it as a player, so he usually does. So I reckon it'll be Argentina in Group C. I'm going to go for Mexico to finish second, because I always see Mexico do the better out of most of the teams who they had throughout their time in the World Cup tournaments through the years. They always finish second position, Mexico, and they have got a very good team, so I think they're going to finish second. And I reckon Poland's going to finish third, and I think Saudi Arabia will finish fourth. Saudi Arabia, I'm not really that good, but Poland's get the better out of them because they've got Robert Lewandowski as well. So it's going to be very interesting, but I think Argentina and Mexico will win the group, and I think in third will be Poland, and I think fourth will be Saudi Arabia. My prediction going into Group D of the FIFA World Cup tournament, as we have in Group D France, one of the World Cup winners from the last World Cup campaign in 2018 in Russia, and they're in Group D with Australia, a team always in the World Cup every single year, but never even make it out of the group stages of the competition. That's quite interesting. You've got Denmark as well, a very proper team in Europe as well. We've got some very good players in their team. I really think they might even do quite well. We've also got Tunisia as well in Group D. But I think it's going to be easier, I reckon, this group. I reckon France win the group, and I reckon Denmark will come second, and I think Tunisia will come third, and I think Australia will come fourth in this group. I feel that France have got some very good players. You've got Benzema, Mbappe, you've got Griezmann, even William Saliba, the defender from Arsenal, is also in the French team as well. But Denmark, they've also got some very good players in their team. You've got Eriksen, he's playing as well after obviously his heart condition he had when he was playing in the Euros. But I think they've still got a strong team. You've got him. You've got Poulsen as well for Denmark. You've got some few Brentford players also in Denmark team as well. But I reckon it's going to be quite easy to have these two teams to go through into Group D. So France and Denmark to go through, and Tunisia and Australia to be eliminated. And my predictions in Group E of the FIFA World Cup tournament, as we have a very interesting group actually, a very intense group between Spain and Germany. These are one of the favourites to go through into this group. But you've also got Costa Rica and Japan also in Group E as well. But my prediction, of course, going into Group E, I reckon it's going to be Spain's going to probably win the group. And I reckon Germany will come second, and I think Japan will come third, and Costa Rica will come fourth in Group E. I just feel that, you know, Spain and Germany have won the World Cup in the past. And I just feel that they've got some very good players in their team in this competition, as you probably know. You can't underestimate Japan and Costa Rica, because they still could even make a surprise package and might go through to the round of 16. However, I've decided to have Spain and Germany. My prediction in Group F of the FIFA World Cup tournament. Very interesting group in a way. You've got Canada in it as well, a team who never ever played in a World Cup tournament since 1986. And they were one of the worst ranking teams they were of FIFA way back like a couple of years ago. But now they're in the World Cup major tournament. They've got what's his name, Fencio Davies, the player from Bayern Munich who plays for Canada. He's going to be a very key asset, I reckon, for the Canadian team. But also you've got some very tough teams in Europe. You've got Belgium and Croatia. Obviously Croatia were the finalists. They were the runners-up in the FIFA World Cup tournament in 2018. But also Belgium as well. A big threat also in this World Cup tournament, in my honest opinion. So I think it's no brainer to have Belgium and Croatia to go through. And I think Canada's going to finish third, but I think Morocco's going to finish fourth in this group. I feel that Belgium and Croatia, they've got some very good players in their team. Obviously, Luka Modric, this will be probably his last World Cup as a international player, because he's 36 at the moment, and another World Cup's time he'll probably be 40 by the time the next World Cup's going to be. But I reckon they're going to qualify in second. But also for Belgium, they've got some very good players like Kevin De Bruyne in their team. They've got Lukaku as well, and they've got so many players as a threat, and also Tielemans as well for Belgium, and many more players, as you know, who play for the Belgium national team. And they're going to be a threat. They're going to be Belgium, and it's probably the obvious to have these two teams to be playing into the knockout in the round of 16 knockout stages of the FIFA World Cup. So Belgium and Croatia. In Group G of the FIFA World Cup predictions here, as we have Brazil, one of the favourites to win the whole entire thing, and also the most successful World Cup winners, winning 5 World Cups in their World Cup history, and they're one of the biggest teams in this group. And you've also got Switzerland and Serbia, are two good European teams. I can't underestimate Serbia, because they could even turn up and might qualify. But the same thing for Switzerland, they're also the runners-up contenders also. I think really these three teams, and even Cameroon, also one of the favourites to come second as well in this group. But definitely Brazil come first. I think Switzerland will probably come second. I just think Switzerland, they always come second in the World Cup group. I never see Switzerland to miss out a group stage. I think they always somehow qualify. Did very well in the Euros. They came quarter-finalists, they did a year ago. They did in the 21's Euro campaign. So you cannot write off Switzerland. Serbia's a tough team as well, but I reckon they're going to finish third. But I think Cameroon will finish fourth in Group G. So those are the teams who will finish in Group G of the FIFA World Cup. My predictions in Group H of the FIFA World Cup, as we have Portugal. Obviously, Ronaldo will be potentially having his last ever World Cup he'll ever play as a player. 5 World Cups like Messi, and 5 appearances, and probably likely so that it will be his last World Cup for Portugal. You've got Uruguay as well. They've got Cavani and Luis Suarez. That's probably their last World Cup as a Uruguayan partnership. That's probably their last World Cup they're going to play in, as they're a lot older they are, but they're in it. You've got Ghana as well. They also did very well to qualify for the African playoffs to get into the World Cup with Thomas Partey, who plays for Ghana as well, Arsenal midfielder, and he's a very good talented player as well. And even Ghana as well, a very good team in the years in the World Cup. I remember when Ghana in the 2010 World Cup, they got into the quarter-finals. They played Uruguay, and then Luis Suarez handballed it. Ghana had a penalty, had a chance, and then it went wide. and then Uruguay went through, I think, because they did score, I think, a bit later after that extra time, makes send them through. So it's interesting to have this between Ghana and Uruguay. They've both got history one another as well, so that's quite of an interesting package. And also you've got Korea as well in Group H, but I feel that Portugal's going to win the group, and I really think from 12 years ago, for heaven's sake, to see Ghana could have knocked out Uruguay out of the World Cup, but they were robbed by Uruguay, and I just feel that Ghana might do it. I just feel Ghana might make a surprise and might come second and make a revenge on Uruguay. But Uruguay haven't got a good team anymore, as they used to be like, 8 years ago when they knocked us out in the World Cup, in the Brazil World Cup. So I just feel that Ghana's going to come second by surprise, and Uruguay to drop out in third position of the group. But Portugal, however, come really clean at the top of the group stage of Group H. So I reckon it'll be Portugal and Ghana to go to the round of 16. Moving now into the round of 16 of the FIFA World Cup tournament, as we have here the Netherlands and Wales. And these two teams are in the round of 16 of the Qatar World Cup. Obviously Wales did very, very well in Group B, as I predict them to come second. But in this game here, I'm going to go for the Netherlands to go through. I feel that Wales will probably give it a go, definitely so, but Netherlands' squad of players have got more quality compared to Wales' team, and also Virgil van Dijk as well. And they've got, very good attacking players in their team as well, and they've got all around good players compared to Wales' team. Wales players, most of the Wales team are actually come from Championship football level, like from Cardiff players and Swansea players, and maybe players play in the Championship as well. And most of them are in the squad as well, apart from Bale and Ramsey, the two players who play in top big teams, and they are top caliber players, but they can't handle Netherlands, who've got very strong players are all around the pitch, like Depay. You've got Frankie de Jong, Virgil van Dijk, De Ligt as well, and many more in the team. So I'm going to go for the Netherlands to go through into the quarterfinals of the FIFA World Cup. Going to the next game in the round of 16 of the FIFA World Cup, as you've got the two-time World Cup winners Argentina, and you also got Denmark also in group round of 16 of the FIFA World Cup. For Argentina, on the other hand, they've got some very good players in their team. You've got, obviously, Messi will be in his last World Cup, as we all know, as he will not be playing after the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. And he probably really wants to win this game. And I think it's probably the obvious. I think that Argentina will be the ones who will go through into the round of 16. I feel that Denmark will give it a go, obviously. There'll be a surprise package there probably might be in this competition, but in my honest opinion, I don't think there will be. I just think Argentina's got more of a better squad, and obviously we've got better, players and the history in this competition and Messi's last World Cup. There might be a surprise package of what people think there might be, but I don't think they're going to be. So I reckon it's going to be Argentina's going to go through and Denmark's going to be eliminated in the round of 16 of the FIFA World Cup. My prediction in the round of 16 of the FIFA World Cup between England and Senegal, as England did come first in my prediction in Group B and Senegal did come second in Group A. In my honest opinion, Senegal have got some very good players in their team, one of the best team in Africa, as they did win the African Cup of Nations, they did. But they're playing against England, a team who've got more experience against teams like Senegal and those teams in this round. So I'm going to go for England to go through very easily against Senegal, despite the players they've got in their team. Senegal have the best team in Africa. They've got Koulibaly, they've got Mane and many more. But I just think that England will be the ones who will chase home the win and the victory to put them into the quarterfinals of the FIFA World Cup. And we have another game in the round of 16 to predict is France, who came first in Group D, and also Mexico, who came second in Group C. France did win the World Cup and the current holders of the World Cup from the 2018 World Cup. And they're playing against Mexico, a team who never won the World Cup before, but they are one of the contenders maybe to get into the round of 16, but not maybe reach to the quarter-final stages, as France are one of the toughest teams. So I think it's a no-brainer, but to have France to go through in the quarter-finals of the FIFA World Cup due to the fact that they've got a better squad compared to Mexico's team. So I reckon it'll be France will beat Mexico in the round of 16. My prediction in the round of 16 between Spain and Croatia in this round of 16 game. Spain did come first in Group E of the FIFA World Cup, and Croatia came second in Group F of the FIFA World Cup. I know Croatia did very, very well in the 2018 World Cup to reach all the way out to the final and lost to France, but in this one between Spain and Croatia, I think Spain will definitely be the ones who will go into the quarterfinals because they've got a better team, better squad of players, and most of the players in their team are very good quality players as well compared to Croatia's team. And I know this is Luka Modric's final World Cup as a professional player for Croatia, as he's been playing for Croatia for so many years, but I just think that his time will be up in the round of 16. But Spain, however, on the other hand, will be the ones who will play in the round of 16 of the FIFA World Cup as they win the game against Croatia in the round of 16's predictions. And my prediction in this game here, the round of 16, is between Brazil versus Ghana. I did say Ghana will be the surprise of Group H to come second in their group to beat Uruguay. The ones will be out in the group stages, but to play against a team like Brazil will be a huge ask for Ghana in my honest opinion. They'll give it their best shot, as they probably will do, because they did surprisingly knock out Uruguay in the group stages, but I feel Brazil will definitely be the ones who will go into the quarter-final stages. They've got a very good team, some very good players in their team, famous players in their team, and they've got more of a better calibre squad compared to Ghana, so I'm going to go for Brazil to go through into the quarter-finals of the FIFA World Cup. My prediction for this game here between Belgium and Germany, and we know that these two teams are strong teams in their own right. Belgium, however, they've got some very good players in this tournament as well. Also for Germany, on the other hand, they've also got some stronger players in their team as well. Will probably want to prove a point after getting knocked out in the group stages of the World Cup in 2018. This is going to be a tough one because Belgium, I know they haven't won the World Cup before, but for Germany on the other hand, they will want to prove a point in this competition after being eliminated a lot earlier in the Russia World Cup. But I just think that this game will probably go to extra time in my honest opinion between Belgium and Germany. And I probably think as well that these two will probably end up going on to penalty shootout. I think as Germany have got more experience compared to Belgium on winning the World Cup, I'm just going to think Germany's going to win this game in this round of 16 of the World Cup against Belgium. I just think on penalty shootout, I reckon it'll be Belgium and Germany that on pens, but I think Germany will be the ones who will push themselves into the quarter-finals of the FIFA World Cup. So I reckon Germany will go through in the round of 16 to Belgium on pens. And my last prediction of the round of 16 of the FIFA World Cup, as we have Portugal versus Switzerland. We know that it's Ronaldo's last ever World Cup, as we're probably likely to be, or 99% to be, but he really wants to win this game, and I really think that Portugal really want to win this game as well. On the other hand, for Switzerland, they could be a surprise package. They did in the Euros from last year. They got to the quarter-final stages, but I just think that it might go to extra time, but I think Portugal might score in the last minute to get themselves into the quarter-final stages. So I reckon it'll be Portugal will be the ones who will win on extra time against Switzerland, in my honest opinion. Switzerland will give it their best shot, but I feel that Portugal's going to be more of a stronger unit and asset in this game. So I'm going to go for Portugal to go through against Switzerland on extra time in the round of 16. My prediction now, moving into the quarter-final stages of the FIFA World Cup, and we have here the Netherlands versus Argentina. And we know that Argentina will be probably the favourites to win the whole entire thing. Even FIFA says that as well. But also for the Netherlands, they will probably want to win. Haven't won a World Cup before. They never ever got and won a World Cup at all. I know under Louis van Gaal, they did got into the semi-finals of the World Cup in Brazil and played Argentina on penalty shootout and lost against them to put Argentina through into the final against Germany in 2014. But for the Netherlands, they probably really want to prove a point, I think. They really want to prove themselves that they want and belong themselves and push themselves into maybe a final or even win the whole entire thing. They really want to. Netherlands have not won the World Cup before in their history. Never, ever, 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 ever. But for Argentina, on the other hand, Messi, this is his last World Cup. This is his final World Cup as a player for the national team. We know that he will never play again after this tournament. But it'd be an interesting one. I think it was going to go all the way to extra time or maybe to penalties. but I just really think that it will be Argentina will be the ones who will break the Netherlands' heart at extra time to put Argentina into the semi-finals of the FIFA World Cup against the Netherlands, and that's a huge, huge, huge one for Argentina. And now we are talking Spain versus Brazil in the quarter-finals of the FIFA World Cup in Qatar. Interesting one it's going to be, because Spain, however, they want to try and get all the way to the final, win the whole entire thing. Even Brazil as well want to win the whole entire thing as well. So it's very tough it's going to be between Brazil and Spain in this game. But I'm predicting for this matchup, with Gabriel Jesus as well in the team, got Martinelli, got Neymar, they got so many more players in their team will be in the World Cup. But for Spain, on the other hand as well, they've got some very good players also in their team. As we're in Qatar, as it's very, very hot as well, and Spain probably are one of the hotter countries, and Brazil are one of the hotter countries as well, I just think that it's going to be a tough one, but my instinct's telling me that it's going to be a hard one. But I'm going to go for Brazil to go through against Spain. I think it'll be Brazil. Brazil will beat Spain. It'll be heartbroken for Spain. Getting knocked out into the quarterfinals of the FIFA World Cup will be very heartbreaking for Spain. But for Brazil, I just think they might just do it. And I really apologise for Spain, but I just think they're going to be eliminated in the quarterfinals. So I reckon it'll be Brazil will overcome Spain in the quarterfinals of the World Cup. And my prediction for the quarterfinals of the FIFA World Cup between England, yes, England, versus France, a team who won the World Cup in the past, like 4 years ago in Russia, the current holders of the competition. England, they've got easy winnable games. I feel that getting into the quarterfinals of the competition, came first in the group that I predicted, beat Senegal in the round of 16, but I feel this game is going to be the toughest one for England yet in this competition. France, on the other hand, have got a better squad of players. They've got some very good players. The same with England as well. I'm going to go for France. I just think that England, unfortunately, will have their hearts broken in the quarterfinals of the World Cup. You know, we never win the World Cup. We only won it in 1966 when Bobby Moore was the one who won the World Cup for us. What was 56 years ago now. I don't think it's going to repeat. I don't think, and I think Southgate will probably leave at the end of the World Cup. Good to get to the quarterfinal stage of the competition, but France have got more of a better squad compared to England, and that team knows how to win a World Cup compared to what England do. So I think it will be France will be the ones who will get to the semis of the World Cup. My last prediction in the quarterfinal stages of the FIFA World Cup, as we have Germany taking on Portugal. Germany and Portugal. We know that Ronaldo will be his last World Cup. It will be for him. But also for Germany as well, they want to prove a point after getting knocked out in the group stages of the FIFA World Cup 4 years ago in Russia. It's going to be a very tough one, it's going to be, I think, between Germany and Portugal, because they both want to be in the semi-finals, but one of them's got to be in it. And I reckon we'll go all the way to extra time. And I reckon Ronaldo, spoiler alert, Ronaldo to get sent off, I reckon, for Portugal. And I reckon on penalties, I reckon Germany knock out Portugal out of the World Cup, and that means it will be Ronaldo's final World Cup. He'll be heartbroken. He will be that he will not get into the semi-finals or even win the whole entire thing. But to Germany to break his heart, and I reckon it's going to happen. I reckon it's going to happen. I reckon at extra time they'll go all the way. Ronaldo gets sent off for kicking someone or whatnot, not what Rooney did to Ronaldo in 2006's World Cup. I reckon he'll do the exact same thing to a player in Germany's team. And I reckon it will be a bit of a conflict in the end of the game. But Germany went on penalties and Ronaldo gets sent off. I reckon that will be happening. That'll be a good send-off for his career as a player in the World Cup, to get sent off in his final ever game as a player for the World Cup for Portugal. Like what Zidane did way back in 2006, similar to. I reckon it will be the exact same thing, but in the quarterfinals of the World Cup, because the intent, the flairness will be high in that game, and I reckon it'll be Germany will do the better one out of Portugal. Now we move to the semi-finals of the FIFA World Cup, and this is going to be a very interesting game between two South American teams in the semi-finals of the World Cup. Argentina, on the other hand, Brazil in the other. It's going to be very, very intense. It's going to be between these two teams, because these two teams are capable of winning the World Cup because they've won it in the past before. And I just think that between Argentina and Brazil, it's going to be very intense. I reckon it'll be a lot going to happen in that game. I remember Argentina got the better out of Brazil in the Copa America in 2021 when Messi won that competition against Brazil. And I just feel that yet again, I just think that Argentina is going to probably beat Brazil and get to the final. I reckon it's going to happen. I think Messi, I think this could be his moment, is before he wraps up his career as a professional player, to have him to get into the final of the World Cup. I can see that happening. I can see them to try and beat Brazil. Even Brazil have got a good team, some very good caliber players like Neymar and many more in their team as well. But for Argentina, it probably means a lot for them, especially for Lionel Messi. And I reckon they are going to get into the World Cup final, and it will be Argentina will be in the final of the World Cup. Now moving into the second game of the semi-finals of the FIFA World Cup between two European teams to play against Argentina in the final. We've got France, who won the World Cup in 2018, the last World Cup. For Germany, on the other hand, they of course want to prove a point and get all the way and win the whole entire thing, as they did got knocked out in the group stage of the World Cup way back in 2018. It'd be an interesting one, but I think France will be the ones who will get into the final. I just think that France have got a better squad, a very strong squad of players, Mbappe and Griezmann and many more, and Benzema. And I just think that they are going to overcome Germany. Germany will do well and get to the semis. And after when Joachim Löw, the manager at Germany, left after when we knocked them out in the Euros, I think Germany have done quite well in terms of trying to rebuild the team after what happened with him. And they get to the semis. Very impressive though for Germany. And they obviously try, but I think France have got more of a quality squad of players in their team. So I reckon it's going to be France will overcome Germany, and they'll be the ones who will play in the World Cup finals against Argentina, and that's going to be very intense. And my last prediction, it's Argentina v France in my predictions. You know, my heart is racing right now on who I think is going to win the World Cup, because these two teams are very good teams. You know, but France won the World Cup in 2018. Argentina last won the World Cup in 1986, like 35 years ago now, when Diego Maradona did the hand of God against England. That was the last time that Argentina won the World Cup ever since then. It's a very tough one it's going to be between Argentina and France in the Qatar World Cup. I just think my instincts are telling me, even FIFA thinks this as well, that Argentina is going to win the World Cup, and I reckon it will happen. I think Argentina win the FIFA World Cup tournament, will win it. I reckon it will be them, will win the whole entire thing. It will be in the next, in this competition. So I reckon it's going to be Messi. Is going to really going to win it. He's going to win it. He's going to win it for Argentina. I reckon it's going to happen. I can see it happening. You know, his last World Cup as well. He probably wants to win this thing. He's same as Ronaldo as well, but there's only one player's got to win it. Even though I love Ronaldo more than Messi, but with their team is more they do play the football very better than Portugal, in my honest opinion, because they do, you know, they like to pass the ball around, not the ball on the pitch. Messi likes a bit of that, and I think that is going to make them win the World Cup. You know, bit of tiki-taka in towards it, like what Barcelona did, and what Messi did at Barcelona many years ago. I reckon we'll do the exact same thing for Argentina in this competition, to send off and wrap up and ride off to the sunset for Lionel Messi to win 2022's World Cup. And that's going to be a wrap here today on my 2022's predictions of the World Cup. And I hope you like this video. Please leave a comment, leave a like, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And also I'm thinking about doing a live stream watch along for all of the England matches of the FIFA World Cup tournament. We don't know if that's going to happen or not, but I'm trying to work it out how to do the stream while watching the England game on my Mac. But please watch that as well if you really want to watch my stream, my watch along on the 21st and the 25th and the 29th of November in the group stages, and maybe also the knockout phase. We don't know about if that's going to happen yet, but that's maybe something that I might consider. But if you want to subscribe to my channel, like, subscribe, and peace out.